Hey guys, welcome back to the garage. So in the couple clips you were just watching, I was doing a little musical cars there and moving some cars around because I'm going to be working on my S10 here. This is my daily driver, but I'm going to be retiring this as my daily driver, and this is going to be my burnout vehicle for Cleetus and cars. It is only a 4-banger, but it's a rust bucket. The body mounts are kind of giving out on it, and the bed is really rusted, and I didn't want to put in a bunch of work on doing the body mounts. Let me rephrase that. I guess I was in between if I wanted to fix the body mounts, and I found this other vehicle that I purchased that I'm going to make my daily driver. So I decided that I'm going to retire this after this winter. And what I planned for this is to put a 35 to a 50 shot max of nitrous on this. And I'm going to put a mini spool in the rear and probably make like a short ram intake to shoot the nitrous in, because I'm going to be doing a wet shot on it, so I don't have to really do much tuning. And I'm probably just going to put a wideband in it that I have out of my hatchback. So what I'm going to be doing today is, the reason why I can't even drive it anymore is the muffler is plugged. I put on a muffler a year or two ago, a year and a half, and it's plugged up. Either the cat plugged itself up or the muffler is junk and just plugged itself up, and I can barely even drive it down the road. So I wanted to cut that exhaust off anyways to try and let it breathe more for the nitrous. So what I got here is a DNA eBay header. I got this reducer here out of my stash, but got this header. It was about $100 and it came with the downpipe for it. But what I plan on doing with that is taking the old one off, putting that one on, and then the downpipe wraps around to the tranny right where the cat would come, and I'm going to put this flange on and then put it from 2.5 to 3 inch, and I just have scrapped 3-inch piping that I'm going to be using, all that stuff here. Some of this is even mild steel that I'm going to be using, just to try and do this as cheaply as possible. And I have my old Vibrant muffler that I pulled off my hatch that I'm going to put on this, and I'm going to do a side exit like over the frame right out the side of the bedside, because the bed in this thing is rotted. I'll show you. So it's already got a plate there, but she's got holes here, holes over there, and there, and here, and yeah. So my plan with this is to start building this for Cleetus and cars, at least mainly now, so I can drive it for the rest of the winter. And then in a month I'm going to buy the nitrous kit, and we're going to install that, and I'm going to do a standalone fuel system, like a 3-gallon cell on the bed of the trunk, and I'm going to put a Holley blue pump on it, I think. But let's get to today's job, which I'm going to put you guys on a time lapse, and I'm going to rip the entire exhaust off, starting with the header, and then probably sawzall the rest of the exhaust off, and then we'll slap the header on and go from there. So in the last clip there, I had cut a hole in the side of the truck here, and I ended up just tacking up the rest of the exhaust off camera, because if you couldn't tell when I was doing the rest under here, that it's just really hard to film and even be under here, because I shouldn't have had the quick jacks under here. I should have just put it on a 4-jack stand so I could have entered the car here, but I got the rest of the exhaust all done. I can't even really get in there to show you because it's not a good angle, but I guess I could lay down. So up here, I put up in the exhaust way in the front, I put a bung for the wideband, and then I have a bung over here with a O2 sniffer for the post cap oxygen sensor, you know, so there's to be no check engine light. I really didn't have to do that, but figured it would have been nice to have no check engine lights on there. But so what I'm gonna do now is just take all this off and weld everything up, and I plan on, in the middle of the downpipe there is a slip pipe there, which acts as the flex pipe, I'm pretty sure. As long as that doesn't leak, I'm going to leave a clamp off of that. And on the other side of the muffler, it's not welded, I'm going to put a clamp on there so I can have some adjustment for the tailpipe. So I was able to get everything completed here. I have like the heater hose zip tied away, and some of this zip tied up. There's a harness in the back that has the oxygen sensor I have zip tied up. The dipstick tube slightly touches on, I don't know if you can even really tell, but like slightly touches down in there. I tried to bang it around. I got clearance on one side, but I can't on the other because it squishes the pipe this way and then makes it wider on this side. And yeah, so it's gonna have to ride. If it burns it to the ground, burns it to the ground. I doubt it will, but if anything, it'll just heat up the dipstick tube, which is no problem. So let me get under the car and then I'll show you the exhaust and then we'll start it up. And I probably can't drive it around tonight because you can see it's getting dark out there, but we'll at least pull it out of the garage so I can drive it tomorrow to work. And then after work, I'll take a clip of the exhaust. So let me get under the car. Okay, so we're under the truck here. This is where the like slip thing that I was hoping wasn't going to leak too bad, but it does, and the exhaust kind of like moves around here and slips off still, even with the hangers and stuff, so I put a clamp on it. Here's the bung for the wideband when I do the nitrous. There is a 1/8 of an inch or so through the frame here. If that was going to touch, I was just going to air hammer clearance it, but she fits. And then here is the O2 sensor, if you can see. The lighting's not great. Okay, so here's the post-cat oxygen sensor with the sniffer in it. So we'll see if that works. If not, whatever. I got it all tied up here, the wiring. And then there is the rest of the exhaust. And I'll slide down there and just see if I can show you it under the car. So I got these really crazy exhaust hangers going on here because the only other hanger option was right there. And it goes up and over the frame and out the back. If you want an example of how rusty this bed is, she's probably gonna fall off soon, so it's a good thing we're turning this into a burnout rig. Alright, so let me get out and we'll start her up, and I'll set you up and we'll start her up, and then we'll pull her out of the garage. So I wanted to show you I had to replace this before I went. This is the, before I chuck it, this is the cat. She's plugged. She was plugged. It was actually really jammed in there. I got it fucking free a little bit, but this is how purple the muffler got. But it's junk now. Bye-bye. All right, well, the exhaust is all wrapped up. You know, I just took it around the block there to give you a couple of outside sound clips and a little burnout action there, just to see what it sounded like higher RPMs there. It doesn't sound the greatest, but it's all right. You know, it'll be fun to drive around. The only thing I don't really like is the manifold kind of leaks a little, and I'm pretty sure that's because of where all the tubes come in together on those cheap eBay headers. They usually just put like a plate of steel and don't really weld them in. They just tack them in. So it's kind of got a little bit of a tick, but you know, whatever. I don't think I've mentioned it in this video that I didn't really pay anything for that exhaust. It was all stuff that I had. The only thing I paid for was the header, and I didn't even have to cut anything. Literally all the pipes just worked up perfectly. And yeah, it was a pretty easy project, so now I can drive that thing around. You know, it doesn't have a plug cat on it, so that's pretty cool. So next thing I'm going to be doing to that, probably will be in a month or two, is I'm going to buy a nitrous kit and put a nitrous kit on it with a standalone fuel system for the nitrous on it. So that'll be the next big upgrade, so you can keep an eye for that in the next couple of months. Because I got to get ready for Cleetus and Cars, which is coming up July of this year in Connecticut. So, yeah, that should wrap up this video. I'm actually kind of doing some of the next video here. As a sneak peek is going to be some wiring on the purple Civic here. I'm going to be doing a eBay tucked harness on it with some other modifications to it. But yeah, I just wanted to go outside and get a little clip to wrap this one up. So I just want to say before we go, if you're subscribed, I appreciate you very much. If you're not, maybe consider if you're liking this content. And hope to catch you guys next time. Have a good one.